Hi, Sarah.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm doing fabulous.
I've missed you.
I missed you too. Let's catch up later.
Yeah, sounds good to me. I got to go show a house at uh some point.
Okay.
But if you have, yeah, if you have a few minutes, I can talk on the phone while I'm in the car.
Okay, that sounds good. I'm gonna run off to broker preview, but we'll see what's going on. We'll
Yeah,
definitely catch up today.
sounds
Look
good.
at this good group of people here. So if you've never been on Wake Up Wednesdays before, welcome. And if you would like to just pop on and say who you are and where you're from, because we do a tremendous amount of networking and referrals from this group.
I'd like to introduce my husband, who's my new recruit. He just passed his real estate exam. This is Tom.
Hi, Tom.
Good
Tom,
morning.
good morning. Did I meet you, Tom?
Yep.
Yes, you did, Peggy.
I met you, yeah, at Gene's Mastermind that we had last year in Vegas.
Yeah, that was when I was masquerading. Now I'm real.
Oh, fantastic. Fantastic. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Congratulations. Who else is new to the call?
I am Martha Hyatt. I go by Marty, and I'm here in Freeport, Maine. I'm representing Brett Davis, Brady Stockwell, Chris Cunningham, and Ulet Soroka. I do the inside brokerage stuff for them. So I'm on this call on their behalf today.
Fantastic. That's exciting. Good,
We
good
can
group.
keep it in Maine. Kelly Walker here. I'm also in Maine and new to the call.
Wonderful. Well, we do this call, like I said, every single week. It's been going on for a year and a half. When you go to the events, we try to all get together. You get invited. If Gene is available to do a private mastermind group with him usually. And we had a retreat last year, and we're having another one, Nicole. It is now in May. And if you are interested in a retreat, I don't want to take up too much time here. Send me a direct message. We'll put my phone number up in the chat. It's very limited, and it has been, we had such an amazing response last year. So we did a lot of mindset breakthroughs, a lot of transformation. We bring in some excellent coaches, and it is an event that I know is going to sell out. Trust me on this one. You're going to want to be there if you didn't make it last year. So, okay. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Hi, Phil.
Good morning. How's everybody? You good?
We're great. I see you draw a crowd. Gee,
We're gonna have some fun.
we're going to have a lot of fun. So we've got a really good, diverse group of people here. We've got people from all over the country. I've got some new faces here as well. And I kind of, want to just jump in with a couple of silly questions that I will ask you afterwards. But should we do like an introduction? Like,
Yeah.
Who is this man?
Let's do it.
Okay, so how many of you know who Phil is? Put your hands up. Just raise your hand. This guy is unbelievable. I'm not going to get into his whole story here. We're going to get into just touch the surface because we're going to want him to come back and talk about more. But not only is he a guru for AI, he was on The Voice. I had to sign a disclosure that I promised I would not ask him to sing. So that's a question that's a little bit off limits on this call, maybe when he gets to know us a little bit better. But also, I don't know if you guys know, I am retired American Airlines. I worked for them for over 25 years. And when I heard Phil's story, I said, what? That never happens in a million years. I've been left at a gate. And I've been stranded for 17 hours, as I was with Sarah trying to get to Kentucky this past January. And nobody gave me a private plane. So with that and 1 billion views, I said, come on, nobody gets a billion views. Is that true?
Yeah. Between all social platforms, they told me it was over 1 billion. It was crazy.
Okay, so I'm just going to turn it over to you and welcome, Phil, and tell your story because we're all so excited about
Yeah,
this.
no, thank you so much for having me. Appreciate being able to be with you guys, and it's an absolute honor. And so, Peggy and I connected in Maui, and she was like, "We've got to have you on the podcast." And I think this is going to provide a lot of value for you guys and actionable steps that you can take to use AI to really grow your business. But a little bit about me, kind of a little background. I understand the real estate space. I'm from the real estate space, so I was a chief operating officer of a mega team in North Carolina. Still live in North Carolina, but now I am full-time traveling and speaking about how to use and implement AI to really grow your business, to save you time, to increase your productivity and efficiency, and to sell more homes. And that's been my whole mission. And the reason why I started teaching real estate agents is really because I wanted to find a way that we could use AI to sell more homes for our team. And so I created a product, I created training, I created these things, I'm going to give to you today, some actionable steps on really what you can do to grow your business and move the needle. Because I saw real estate agents were creating property descriptions with it. They were maybe making a Facebook post or a blog, and those things are fine and great. But I wanted to figure out a way that we could go much deeper and actually use the thing to sell more homes. And so that's what we've been able to accomplish over the last year. We've really been pushing hard into teaching real estate agents how to use this thing. And so yeah, that's I grew up in Indiana, so I was an Indiana Hoosier, and moved to North Carolina pretty young. Though I moved to North Carolina when I was 12, and so North Carolina is home for me. I'm in North Carolina today, but Peggy, I leave tonight, and 16 of the next 17 days I'm out of the state doing events, and so it's a very busy time. I'm literally packing for like 3 weeks of stuff. It's insane, but yeah, I'm excited to be here. Talk to you. Yeah,
We're going to Cabo, right?
we are going to Cabo.
Going to
Yeah.
Cabo in a few, like that's so that's part of your traveling.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Cool. So, all right, how do we do this? I'm kind of like the AI person for dummies. I don't know anything, so I'm going to ask what I think are silly questions, but I'm going to have a feeling that a lot of people are going to have the same questions.
Yeah.
So, where did AI come from?
Yeah. What people don't understand is AI has been around since the 1950s. And it's insane to think about, but there's a lot of different systems and platforms that are considered AI. And so when I do a presentation, I normally tell people, hey, just so you know, this is the definition of AI. And I tell them this. So if you're taking notes, you might want to take note of this. Just a good broad definition of kind of what is considered AI. It's any system that leverages human capacities for learning, perception, and interaction at a level of complexity that supersedes our own abilities. And I'll read it again if you were taking notes, but essentially what that is, it's a pretty generic, term to tell you that anything that's smarter than our own brain is technically classified AI. So again, it's any system that leverages human capacities for learning, perception, and interaction at a level of complexity that supersedes our own abilities. Well, why is this important to define? Because AI is obviously a buzzword now. It's a marketing term. It's all over. And why is that? Well, because ChatGPT, which is most of us have heard about at this point, if not we're using, really made the technology available to everyone, and they made it available for free. And so it absolutely just changed the whole landscape because everyone had access to this technology, whereas before, it wasn't as easily accessible for any normal person. And so now everyone's talking about AI, but then companies are jumping on the bandwagon and they're using that as a marketing term to try and sell things. So you might notice that you're going to be bombarded with the new AI powered this or AI powered that. I have a calendar I've used for several years, and it moves around my events that are not a specific time. Like if I have a variable event where it's like, hey, I time blocked checking my email for 30 minutes or whatever, it'll move that around to make the perfect day, like perfect time block based on the other things that I have in my day. I love the tool. It's nice, whatever. In the last 6 months, it has started to market the world's first AI powered calendar, and nothing has changed. It's the same thing that's, always been there. And it's a great tool, but you can see how people are jumping on the bandwagon of marketing. So we do have to be careful that we don't feel like, oh, well, this is AI powered, so I have to use it. It's not apples to apples with these tools. There are thousands of them. And one of the things that I'd like to do with real estate agents is say, hey, here are my top 10 favorite tools, which I'm going to give to you guys today. Don't worry about anything else because it's overwhelming. Like here's some of my favorites that I know work because I see my clients use them and I've seen them used at a high level, but pick one or two and just stick with the one or two. Don't try and do 10 things at once because you won't do any of them well.
Right. So I had no idea it had been around for that long. And what I also wanted to know is, okay, so you told us where it started from. How does all the data get compiled? Where does it come from? And how do you get everybody to agree to give up their data?
Yeah, it's a great question. I would be curious. Can we have people raise their hands if they're currently using ChatGPT? Can you raise your hand?
Yeah.
Currently using it? Okay. If you're not using it, don't be shy. But if you're not using it now, raise your hand. I'm guessing there's probably going to be more people using it than not, but there's still always a lot of people who aren't using it. Okay. Here's the thing. And this is very important to understand. I'm going to tell you how ChatGPT works at a very easy to understand level. I'm not going to get technical. I'm going to take 1 minute and tell you how this thing works. And it's so important to get this. This is one of the most important parts of when I do a presentation normally. This is one of the most important parts because if you understand this, how it works, then you can use the thing correctly. And most agents are not using it correctly. So here's how it works. Chat GPT, that's called a large language model. It's an LLM. So if you ever see LLM or large language model, they're referring to a technology like ChatGPT where you can go in, you type in a question, or you say, hey, create me this, and then it comes back and it spits out information based on what you're asking for, right? So that's an LLM. There's several of them, okay? You have, Gemini, you have Bing, you have, there's several different competitors in the space. Claude, doesn't matter, but what you have to understand about how these LLMs work is ChatGPT references 3 different things to give you an answer. So one, and this is really, really good to take notes on these 3 things. So if you are taking notes, jot these 3 down. One, it references the prompt or the question or what you're typing in that you've asked. So if you put in a very basic prompt, you're going to get a basic generic answer. If you put in a detailed prompt, then you're going to get a much more detailed answer. I always show people this when I do presentations. I'm up on stage and I have my computer and it's linked to the screen, and I'll show them how a prompt really makes the difference because I'll go in and I'll say, I create me a list of 10 potential hobbies. I'm looking to pick up a new hobby, enter. Well, it's going to list 10 hobbies. It might say knitting. It might say pickleball. It's just going to list 10 things that I could potentially try. The problem is it doesn't know what I like. It doesn't know my gender. It doesn't know my age. It doesn't know where I live. All of those things affect maybe what I would want to do. So if I do the same exact thing, but I say, I'm a 34-year-old male from Greensboro, North Carolina. I'm looking to pick up a new hobby. Can you give me a list of 10 specific to Greensboro? What it's going to do is it's going to give me a list of things. And I could even say, I enjoy sports. I enjoy outdoors. What can I do? Well, then it's going to tailor it to me specifically. And it's going to say, all right, this location here is a great hiking trail in Greensboro. And here's the actual location. So rather than just getting a list of knitting, picking up the guitar, pottery class, whatever, I'm actually getting things that are tailored to me. And what's the difference? Well, I just changed the prompt to be much more detailed than a generic prompt. So that's number one. That's how it feeds off of that data. Two, it references the data set that it's been trained on, which is what you were asking about, Peggy. ChatGPT is trained on a very large set of data, very, very large set of data that's been compiled from OpenAI as the company that feeds it data from the internet, right? And so you have this massive amount of trained data. They've excluded a lot of things and put in certain things to make it, okay, here's the best amount of data that we can load in to where it knows a lot about a lot, right? And then the third thing that it references, and this is so incredibly important to understand, it references the previous chat history in that conversation. So let's say, for an example, I were to open up ChatGPT right now and I said, who won the Super Bowl in 1995? It's going to say the Dallas Cowboys won the Super Bowl. I'm a Cowboys fan, so that's why I know that. And then if I were to ask a follow-up question and all I said was, who was the quarterback? Nothing else, no other context. It's going to say Troy Aikman was the quarterback of the Dallas Cowboys in 1995. Why is it doing that? Because it knows what you've talked about in the previous chat history. So if I were to go to Google right now and say who was the quarterback, what result am I going to get? I'm going to get like, here's a list of the current active quarterback. It's not going to know what I'm talking about, right? Because it has no context, no reference for the conversation. So, okay, Phil, why is this so important to know that it references the previous chat history? Well, if I can get it to say an answer like Troy Aikman was the quarterback of the Dallas Cowboys in 1995, just by asking a question before it, well, now I can prime it, prep it, and train it on specific things about my market, my price point, my target audience, what I'm trying to do, and get very specific, really good results. Whereas 90% of other real estate agents are just going to the thing and be like, hey, write me a blog about home staging, enter. Well, if we understand it's a step-by-step process, then that changes the whole game. And so, Peggy, this whole concept of understanding how it worked for me, I was on a flight from Texas back home to North Carolina, and I thought, real estate agents have two problems when it comes to AI and ChatGPT. One, they don't know what to ask. And two, they don't know how to ask it. If I can solve those two problems for them, then I can help them sell a ton more homes. And so that's what I've done. I think I told you, Peggy, when we were in Maui, it's been almost 2 years since I turned on a TV.
Right.
And I have spent like every waking moment trying to figure out, okay, if I ask it this, then I get this result. Okay, now if I do this, then I get, and I've been refining these prompts. And what we're going to give to you guys, I actually have a PDF of some prompts that will absolutely change your business. And all you have to do is copy, paste, hit enter. Because I've done all the work on the back end to figure out what should you ask it and how to ask it the right way. So you're not sitting there thinking, okay, well, I want to find out a new hobby, but I don't really know how to ask. Okay, well, if you're very detailed in your prompt, and obviously that's a very basic scenario, all of my prompts are dealing towards business and your social media and growing your real estate business specifically for real estate. And all you have to do is copy and paste.
That's amazing. That is absolutely amazing because I'm sure a lot of us are just asking basic questions. So, Phil, do you want to open this up to questions? How do you want to do this? Because this is.
I think probably the most helpful thing, and we have, what is this, 1 hour call normally?
An hour, and I said if it went until you and I talked, it may go over if people can stay. As long as my co-hosts don't disconnect, we're good.
There you go. There you go. I love it. Well, I think what's normally the most beneficial for people, and you guys tell me if this would be helpful for you. Normally in a setting like this, the most beneficial thing is for people to see it with their own eyes and for me to share the screen and actually show you what you should do. I'm a very visual learner and I like people when they break it down step by step, very practical. And so I think that might be very beneficial. I'll show you the PDF that I'm going to give you, and then I'll walk you guys through exactly step by step what to do. Is that something that would be beneficial for this room?
Absolutely. Yes.
Awesome. Cool. Well, let's do this then. I'm going to share my screen if that's cool, and then I'm going to take you through a little bit of a quick presentation and show you ChatGPT. Okay.
Cool. Do I have to let you share your screen?
I think I am able to do it. Yeah. So you must have
Okay.
put me
Oh,
as a
that should be
co-host.
good.
You guys should see
Good.
this as the power of AI. Yeah.
Great.
Perfect. Okay. So what I want to start off with, and this is just kind of to lay the land so that we all understand kind of what's going on here and the value of what we're going to teach. Again, I'm going to go very, very practical. I'm going to share my screen. We're going to go into ChatGPT, create content together, and it will absolutely change the game for your business. But I do think it's important to start off with a question. And I think the question is very simple, but I think we're all probably going to answer it the same type of way. What is your most valuable asset? Is there anyone who wants to say what their most valuable asset is?
Time.
I would agree with that. I think we can all probably agree that time is the most valuable asset. I've heard 3 reasons why this is the case. 1, we don't know how much of it we have left. There's nobody in this room, in this Zoom room, that knows how much time they have left on Earth, which makes it a scarce commodity, and it's very, very valuable. 2, I've heard that we all have the same amount of it per day, right? 24 hours. It doesn't matter if your name's Phil or Peggy or whatever your name is, you have 24 hours in the day, and how you choose to spend it is what matters. And then the third thing I've heard is we can't create more of it. Now, I think one of these things is not true. I believe we actually can create more time. Now, I don't think we can create more time in the sense of creating more hours in the day. Obviously, we're stuck at 24, right? But I do believe that if we choose to invest our time in things that will save us time in the future, although it's going to cost us time now, it will have a compounding effect in the time savings of the future. So, for an example, you guys are investing 1 hour of your morning to be a part of this podcast, a part of this Zoom. If you pick up one tip or one trick in 1 hour today that saves you 5 minutes a day, obviously there's going to be a break even point, and that break even point is going to be on the 12th day. You're going to break even on the time that you invested, which was 1 hour. And every day after that 12th day of saving 5 minutes a day by implementing one of these strategies, you will be creating 5 extra minutes every single day that you didn't have before. Anytime you can increase your output while maintaining or decreasing your input, you create leverage. And the business owner with the most leverage wins. So, what I teach real estate agents to do is I teach them to do more in the same amount or less time so that they're able to create more leverage over their competition. I love this quote by Jim Rohn. It says, "Time is our most valuable asset, yet we tend to waste it, kill it, and spend it rather than invest it." So powerful and so true. So if you spend the time today creating something that will save you time tomorrow, you're going to break even on that investment, and you will be net positive time every single day. There was a lady, I did a Dallas, Texas, I believe is where I was, doing a luxury presentation for real estate agents. And a lady named Emily came up to me after that presentation. She said, "Phil, I've been following you since April. The first time I saw you speak was in April in Orlando." She said, "I've implemented your strategies and I want to let you know I've tracked it. And I have saved an average over the last 9 months. I've saved an average of 40 hours per month. And I'm getting the same amount of outcome, but I'm just reducing my input." Right. And so I'm no mathematician, but I asked her, I said, "Hey, how many hours do you think it's taken you over the last 9 months to implement my strategies, to listen to my talk, to implement my strategies and do what you've done?" She said, "I've probably invested about 10 hours, right?" I said, "Okay." So in 9 months, she's saved an average of 40 hours. And again, I'm no mathematician, but I believe that's 360 hours. If you take the 10 that she invested, then she's net positive 350 hours in 9 months. How many of you guys would kill for an extra 350 hours in 9 months over your competition? And what could you do with it? Right? So my whole thing with AI, and the reason why I do what I do, is because I'm passionate about helping real estate agents take their time back and produce more, give their customers a better experience. Now, I can give you 350 extra hours in 9 months, like with Emily. I can't force you to do a specific task, or you choose what you want to do. If you want to spend 350 of those hours watching Netflix, that's kind of on you. But the whole thing is you're going to have more time to do the things that matter, whether that's spend time with your kids or grow your business even more, or different things, take a vacation. That's why I'm so passionate about this, because I ran a team and I saw how crazy, how many hats you guys wear, how many things you have to deal with. It's insane. And I want to help you create that time freedom. And we use AI to leverage that. And this whole thing, I like to say this, and this might be a good thing to write down because this is very true. AI is to your time what compound interest is to your money. And that's why I do what I do, to try and help people create more time so they have that time freedom. Now, all of this kind of wrapping up the whole introduction. If you've followed me at all, you've probably heard me say this from time to time. AI is not going to replace your job, but someone using AI will. And that's just the truth. And I don't mean to scare anyone. I don't mean to freak you out, but it's just the truth. Now, if you remember back in the day, do we have any real estate agents in the game over 25 years? Anybody in the room?
I am
There you go. Okay. So before the internet, what was the MLS?
a book.
There you go. It was a book. And if you didn't adapt with technology and use the internet, would you be in business today?
No.
Absolutely not. And so AI is the greatest technological advancement since the internet. It's not going away. And it's so important to understand. Now, the AI revolution, it's not just about you. It's about the client. How can we create more time in our schedule? How can we give the client a better experience to where they are like, oh my gosh, Peggy, she did this and I had no idea, and she was able to do this and I had no clue that she was going to do that. That's what this is about, giving the client a better experience. But like we were talking about with the internet, the AI powered agent will eventually replace the everyday agent. It's just a matter of time. The internet powered agent eventually replaced the standard agent that was using a book for the MLS. It was just a matter of time. And the people who adopted the internet, they were the ones who succeeded. The ones who adopted it first really had a leg up on the competition. And that's what I want for you guys. Real estate agents are not using this technology and they're not using it well. And so I want you guys to be able to use it well. Now, the good thing is you don't need to be an AI master. You could be on this call and you're like, oh my gosh, Phil, I hate technology. Totally fine. If you can copy and paste, I've done all the legwork for you. And I want to provide this value to you with this PDF. And I want to show you what's possible to where you're like, oh my gosh, like I didn't even know that I could do this. You're going to leave this session so inspired and like, man, I can do that. Right. And it doesn't matter if you like technology or not. So if I were to wrap all of this intro into 3 simple words, it's evolve or die. We have to evolve with technology or we'll be left behind. We've had to evolve as human kind, like since the beginning of time. And the same is true with technology. And so if you guys want to follow me on my journey, this is probably a good place for you to do it. I think Instagram is probably my most, it's probably the one that I respond to most and I check most often. It's just my first and last name, Phil Stringer. We provide a ton of AI tips and tricks for free, obviously on there to help agents. And so this is a good spot if you want to follow along the journey, or if you need any help, you can reach out to me on Instagram. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to switch over to the PDF that I'm going to give everyone. So I have a QR code at the end of this call. You guys will scan and it's going to give you this PDF. And I'm going to show you, it's broken down into 2 very simple parts. This is what the PDF looks like. It says 10 AI tools and prompts to increase revenue, efficiency, and productivity. It's broken up into 2 sections. The first section is different tools. Now, these are 10 tools that I have seen work well for real estate agents outside of ChatGPT, because everyone knows about ChatGPT. And then the second half of this PDF are prompts for ChatGPT that you can literally just copy, paste, and hit enter and get really good results. So what I'm going to do, I'm not going to go through all 10 of these, but I'm going to show you it has the logo and the name of the tool. This is hyperlinked, so you can just click on it and go straight to the tool. Okay. That way you don't have to write down, was it .com, was it .ai, was it .co? I don't remember. And then I give a very short description of what the tool's about right here. That way you'll remember. So I want to hit a couple of them. I don't want to hit all of them just due to time, because I want to spend a majority of our time in ChatGPT. So this tool right here, this is that first one called Opus Clip. Guys, this will change the game for your video content if you're needing to do short form video for social media. So here's what you do. You can drop in a URL or a link, like let's say there's a YouTube video or something, and you paste in the link here, or you can upload a file, which is what I do most of the time, because I shoot my video with my phone and then I upload the file here and I click this one button, and in one button, what it's going to do is it's going to analyze the video. It knows from the transcription of the video that it creates what the video's about, and then it cuts it to vertical, the perfect size for Instagram Reels, TikToks, YouTube Shorts, and it auto reframes based on where your face is. So if you're walking in the video, it's going to follow along with your face. It adds the captions, the emojis, the little colors and highlights, but the real power is in this software inside that's called AI curation, this feature right here, where from the transcription of the video, it says, you know what? This right here is a really good hook. This is going to draw people's attention. So we're going to put it at the beginning. And then we're going to pair this hook with relevant highlights to create a full Instagram reel, a full TikTok from this content. Guys, you can shoot horizontally, you can shoot vertically, you can set up a phone at the back of the room and hit record. It doesn't matter. It's going to do the editing work for you. And so it's really neat to see. I think I can go to my dashboard here. I don't know if I'm signed in, but let me go to, no, I'm not signed in, but it's amazing what it does in one click. What it does is it actually gives you several options. So like I uploaded a 13-minute clip and I got 11 different options that I can use that are edited, ready to go for short form content. It's amazing. And I'll show you one of them here in the next tool, because the next one is also a video editing tool, but this one's called Descript. And essentially what Descript is it makes editing video so easy that I promise you anyone in this room could do it. Whether you're like, dude, I don't know how to edit video, I've never edited a video in my life, I promise you in the next 30 seconds, you're going to be like, okay, I can do that. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to switch over to, and you know what? Let me do this. Let me see if I can share the actual application so you guys can hear the audio, because I'm going to play you a video and I want you to hear exactly. I don't think it's going to actually let me do the application audio. So I'll just turn my volume up and then you guys should be able to hear this. But here's what I did. Okay. This is Descript. I drug the video in from Opus. So here's how I created this whole video. I took my iPhone. It was shot horizontally at the back of the room and I hit record, and it's a 13-minute video. Okay. I uploaded that to Opus. Opus cut it to vertical. It added all the emojis, added the captions, added everything, cut the video to what it thought would be a good video. And then I drug that video into Descript because I wanted to show you guys how easy it is to edit. So when I drag the video in, the video shows right here. And then on the left-hand side, it gives me a transcription of every word that I said in the video. Now, let's do a quick edit just for an example. In the video, I address my team because I'm talking to our team. Every Wednesday, we would do a team meeting. And this is just a very simple team meeting, motivational type thing. But I address them in this video. And it's not really relevant to Instagram because I'm talking to my team. So I say right here, I say, you guys are doing a lot of mock offers and stuff right now, right? So if I play this for you, and again, I don't know if you'll be able to hear it, but I'm going to turn up my volume. So maybe you'll be able to hear it through my microphone here. Then do the reps to become confident, right? You guys are doing a lot of mock offers and stuff right now, right? If you're not confident. All right. If I want to take this part out, watch. I act like this is a Word document. I just highlight that part. I hit backspace. I'm editing like I'm editing a note or a Word doc, and look what happens. Then do the reps to become confident, right? If you're not confident in writing boom, clean edit. I don't know how to edit video, but I have edited a Word document or a note before. You see down here, I think I address one of my, So I say, if you're not confident in picking up the phone, Robert, how do you become confident in picking up the phone? You pick up the phone. If I don't want Robert, watch this. Up the phone, Robert, how do you become confident? I can go here and I can hit backspace and Robert is edited. Check this out. If you're not confident in picking up the phone, how do you become confident in picking up the phone? I didn't have to learn how to edit video. All I did was edit the script and it edits the video to the words of what was said in the video. So if you ever need a good, clean, easy edit, Descript is amazing. Now, one other thing I'm going to show you before I move on is this actions button up here. Remove filler words. It will search the video for any filler words. It says I have 4. I can hit remove all and all of your ums, uhs, so those type of things are gone in one click. You can also shorten the word gaps. So if you want it to be really punchy and quick and you don't want any delay between your words or sentences, you can shorten the word gaps immediately. It's done. So this is a really great tool for video. You can imagine pairing these first two tools together, what you can do with video editing. It's absolutely amazing. I'm going to show you a couple other ones that I think are pretty cool. These are obviously for video. I'm going to jump into note taking and meetings. This is very helpful for real estate agents, and I'll tell you how. Tactic is a tool that links to your web conferencing software. So Zoom, Google Meet, whatever, WebEx, whatever you use. And when you end the call, it has a full summary of the meeting. It has action items for everyone who is in the meeting because it knows the square of who was talking with their name that was typed in. So it knows when they were speaking and when they were spoken to. And so if I were on this call and, I said, hey, Peggy, we need to remember that we need to XYZ, it's going to put that as an action item and assign it to Peggy. Like, it's unbelievable. So you get action items for every person in the room. You get an agenda for the next meeting. You get a full summary, and it's done right when you hit end on the call. That's really cool because if you're doing a buyer consult via Zoom, can you imagine sending an email to your potential client and say, hey, look, Mr. and Mrs. Buyer, it was great speaking with you today. I just wanted to give you a full summary of what we talked about, as well as action items that I'm going to do if we decide to move forward. And then here's our agenda if we move forward, boom, boom, boom. If you send that right after your buyer consult, they are going to be floored. They're going to be like, oh my gosh, this person is amazing, organized, detailed. If it works with obviously a listing presentation over Zoom. Now, here's the really cool thing. It also now allows you to upload any video or audio file, and it does the exact same thing. So you don't have to be on Zoom. You're like, okay, that's great, but I don't do a ton of Zoom buyer consults. I do them face-to-face. Okay, fine. If you take your iPhone and you hit record on your voice memo and record any type of meeting, upload that file to Tactic, it does the exact same summary. You copy it, paste it in your email. Dear Mr. and Mrs. Buyer, it was great meeting with you today at Starbucks, whatever. Boom. This is unbelievable how well this works. I'm going to show you like a little back end. This was a one-on-one coaching call with a guy named Tony. Gave me a full meeting agenda of what we covered. Summary. Tony's been in real estate since 2008, wants to revamp his business. Phil's going to offer to help with AI lead gen, social media presence. Action items for Tony, action items for Phil. And then, guys, every single word that was spoken in the meeting, who said it, what the timestamp was for the entire call. So why is this important? Again, because you can focus on the client and you're not taking notes and you know that everything is being taken for you, and it does a really, really good job. This one here's a fun one, and I'm just going to touch it briefly, but this one's Adobe Firefly. This is free. You guys can use this. It doesn't cost anything. You can type in right here anything that you can think of. You hit generate and it creates an image. Pretty cool. You can decide if it looks like a cartoon, a graphic, a photorealistic image of photography, whatever you want. But the real practical thing with this tool for real estate agents is this thing right here called Generative Fill. Generative Fill. Oh, of course, it's going to make me sign in. Let me see if I can actually sign in with this thing, because you guys are going to be blown away if I can get it's going to send me a text. I think it's worth it. So we're going to do this whole verification thing because this will actually be very practical for you. And you can use this with your real estate business. So let's see if this will work here. Perfect. Okay. So this is called generative fill. And again, you have to have an account, but the account's free. So this isn't going to cost you anything. This allows you to upload an image. So I'm going to upload, I think I had something in here from the other day. Let me find, I think I had like a listing photo. Yeah. Okay. This is an actual listing photo. I did a live event in Atlanta and I was showing them how to use this tool, and someone raised their hand. They're like, I have a listing photo right now where they left their car parked in front of the home and it's kind of a trashy whatever. She was like, but I just want to clean it up. Can you do that? I was like, sure. So she sent it to me and I did this live, and this is the photo that they used. You see over here, you have insert and you have remove. I'm no Photoshop genius. If you told me to remove this car and whatever, it would look horrible. I wouldn't know how to do it, right? And I think probably most of us in this room would say the same. If you click remove and you simply just paint what you want removed. So I'm going to do this, and I'm just going to remove the car. One button, guys. I hit remove. Watch what happens. It's going to generate 3 different options for me, and I pick which one I like. If I don't like any of them, I regenerate again. But watch, boom. Puts the grass, puts the leaves are there. You literally cannot tell that the car was there. So you can use this with your listing photography. Don't obviously change the structure of the home. But if there's a trash can outside because they took photos on trash day, or if there's a car parked outside, or if there's a room and something's on the ground or something's messy, do you see the power of being able to clean something up and make it look nice for your listing photography? A couple other cool tools I'm not going to spend time on. Durable creates a full website for you within 30 seconds. It's unbelievable. Like, it happens before your eyes. You can use it, put your IDX feed on it. The way that I tell real estate agents to use this is when you create a website with Durable, you can add as many pages as you want. I think it's $20 a month. You have as many pages as you want. But if you have a new listing, let's say it's 123 Main, Greensboro, North Carolina .com, you go out and purchase. You link that to Durable and you create a page, you put the listing photography there, you put the property description in there, and you have a little contact form, and it does all of this for you. But you could link 123 Main, Greensboro.com to this page, and you can do multiple pages for multiple listings. Your clients can be like, oh my gosh, Peggy, she made a website for me. 123 Main, Greensboro.com. You didn't have to design it. You didn't have to learn how to create the thing. You're literally just dragging the pictures in, dropping them, boom, it's done. And you have a full website for your listing, and you can do multiple, right? It's really a powerful tool. This one here is one called Remini, and this is an app on your phone. You upload pictures of yourself, and it creates a branding photo shoot of yourself, you in different clothes, different locations, whatnot. Now, full disclosure, half of them are going to look creepy as hell. Okay. You're going to be like, why does my nose look like that? Oh, that's kind of weird. But this is totally worth it because you're going to get a couple that you're like, wow, I actually can't tell that that's not me. And real estate agents can use this for, posting something, for branding, whatnot. And it's just a good way to get easy headshots done. And some of them look really, really good. Again, don't think that all of them are going to look good because they're not, but you'll get a couple that you're like, wow, I can totally use that because you can't tell that it's not me. A couple others just to kind of hit, and then I'm going to take the rest of my time on ChatGPT. Allwrite.ai takes a video and it writes an article about what the video is about. So you paste in the video and it'll literally write you an article about the content, not a transcription, actually tell you about what the video is about, which can be very powerful, especially if you've created a video, you might as well have a written piece done automatically with AI. You've already done the work to create the video. HeyGen is a tool that creates AI generated avatars. So you can pick a model, pick a voice, you type something in or paste something in, you hit play, and it's them speaking what you just typed. The cool thing about HeyGen is you can upload a 2-minute selfie style video of yourself, and it creates an avatar that looks and sounds like you. So then you could copy, paste, text, hit play, and it's Phil Stringer reading those words and my mouth is moving. Now, I would not use this for social media. I think social media, authenticity is the winner with social media. I would use this more for recurring things like trainings, onboarding, processes, things like that, just to save you time because it works really well. This one here is called Tome, Tome, and this creates PowerPoint presentations or presentations from a prompt or from a document. You can drag a document in and it'll create you a presentation from that information. And then the last one, this one's Designer. It creates ebooks for you, and it's from any type of content. So you can put a YouTube video in, you can put a blog in, you can put a podcast in, you can put a Word doc, doesn't matter. It'll write you an ebook based on the contents of whatever type of content you've added to this thing. Why is this powerful? Well, can you imagine writing a blog in ChatGPT? The top reasons you should move to Greensboro, North Carolina, or top reasons you should stay away from Greensboro, North Carolina, whatever. You write that blog, you put that blog in here, it writes you an ebook, top 5 reasons, things you need to know before moving to Greensboro, North Carolina. Now you have an ebook, a downloadable ebook that's been created for you that you've written, where you can offer it to your audience and say, hey, I've got this new ebook. If you give me your name, email, and phone, we'll send it to you free. Now you're capturing leads for people that want to know what to know before moving to Greensboro. So they probably need to relocate or know someone who does. You can use this with tons of different things. The benefits of home staging, like all of these different, article about interest rates. It'll create an ebook for you, and then you're generating leads from giving that information, these lead magnets, away for free. Does all that make sense so far? Those are my 10 tools. I would not be overwhelmed with these. I wouldn't try and do 10. I would pick 1, maybe 2 that you feel like could change the game for you. And I would just focus on that and then move to another one once you've graduated from using that tool. But do not get overwhelmed with these things. I'm going to see if there's any questions about any of these. And then the next section, I'm going to spend just on ChatGPT. And this is really the game changer part of what I teach. So any quick questions before I jump into the ChatGPT stuff?
Phil, I have one.
Yeah, go for it.
So do you also have a really good source of creating PowerPoint? If I had a class I'm teaching and I want good PowerPoint, what would be the best AI?
So that one tome that I briefly kind of ran over does presentations where you can tell it what you want and it'll get you the template. It'll put photos in, then you go in and kind of tweak it and rearrange it how you want it. My favorite tool, though, for creating presentations more manually, but that looks amazing, is called beautiful.ai. I'm going to drop it in the chat. It's beautiful.ai. And it makes presentations that look really, really good and helps you do it in less time. Yeah.
Great. Thank you.
You got it. Cool. I'm gonna share my screen. I'll jump back into the ChatGPT thing. Now, here's the thing. I'm gonna give you 7 very simple use cases just to write down because it helps you with inspiration on what ChatGPT can be used for. Normally, I actually show you like, hey, here's an example of this thing. For time's sake and to give you the most value that I can in the next 15 minutes, I'm just going to give you the use cases and you can write them down. Okay. So ChatGPT is a tool. Tools are only as good as the person using them. Right. And so it really matters what prompt we put in. It's garbage in, garbage out. Right. What is ChatGPT? We did the whole explanation of those 3 things that it references, and you're going to see why that is so important that we know how ChatGPT works, because the prompts that I'm about to give you, it all builds on itself, right? And so here are the 7 use cases. If you guys want to write these down, I'm just going to go through these very quickly. I'm not going to do what I normally do where I actually show you like, okay, for an example, simple questions. And then I go to ChatGPT and I'll ask it things and we'll see how it works. Just know that 1 is simple questions. You can ask it anything that you would normally Google. you can put in Chat GPT and it'll give you a conversational response. And you can ask follow-up questions, which is really important because Google doesn't do that with its static list of search results, you know? So again, if I were to ask who won the Super Bowl, and then I were to ask a follow-up question, well, who was the running back? It's going to tell me based on those follow-up questions, which is very powerful. Number two is it generates lists. So I kind of mentioned, hey, give me a list of 10 hobbies. It can give you a list of 10, 20, 30, 100. You tell it how many things you want in whatever list you're creating, and it will write you whatever number you want, and it'll generate a list for you, which can be extremely powerful. And I'm going to show you how to use that as a real estate agent here in a minute. Number three is long form written. This can create blog, articles, email newsletters, any type of long form written content, and you can specify the length. You could say, hey, write me a 2,000 word blog on, or write me a 5,000 word blog. Whatever type of length that you're wanting to create, it will do that for you. Number four is feedback prompts. You can ask it for feedback on stuff that you've done. So think about this. If you've written an email, copy, paste it in and say, hey, I just wrote this email response. Can you give me feedback on how to make this more respectful or how to make this more whatever? Or you could say, give me feedback on punctuation or grammar or spelling or whatever it is you want. I had a client get really upset and I started writing a reply and I was a little heated and I was like, you know what? Hold on. I copied their email. I pasted it in. I was like, can you write a response for me that's much more respectful? And it did a much better job than what I was about to do. Okay. So it can save you for sure on that front. Now, let's think about this outside the box for a second, because as a real estate agent, if you record your calls, which a lot of CRMs do, if you use like Follow Up Boss, you have the call recording feature where every call is recorded. You can easily take that call, put it into ChatGPT, whether you upload the audio file. If you're a paid member of ChatGPT, you can upload files. If you're a free user of ChatGPT, you could just take the transcription of that phone call, copy it, paste it into ChatGPT and say, give me feedback on how I could have better acquired this customer. Now, ChatGPT is essentially going to role play with you and tell you, well, at 2 minutes and 38 seconds, you said this and try this next time. It's unbelievable, the capabilities, and most real estate agents don't use it that way. Number five, modification prompts. You can modify any text. You can lengthen something. You could have one sentence and be like, expand this to 500 words. You could have a whole article and you could say, boil this down to 3 sentences. Summarize this for me. You can modify, change the language from one language to another. Any type of modification is definitely doable with ChatGPT. Number 6 is instructional prompts. You can ask it how to do anything. And I'm talking, man, if you have an Epson EI72 printer and you're like, oh, I don't know how to do this, you could say, hey, I've got an Epson EI72. I just totally made up that model number. I don't know if that's a thing, but how do I do this? Boom, it'll give you step-by-step instructions on how to do that. You can literally ask it how to do anything. Number 7, and this is the last one, if you're taking notes, information extraction. You can go into ChatGPT and say, write me a summary about the book Good to Great. Enter. It's going to say, all right, the book Good to Great is a book written in 2001 by Jim Collins, goes over this, gives you a full summary. You can extract data from books, from text, from articles, from different things, and create summaries or create whatever. You could then, after that summary, because it's a conversational thing, you can say, okay, now write me a Facebook status geared towards encouraging other real estate agents and use the principles from the book Good to Great. Boom. Now it writes you a Facebook status from the principles of Good to Great geared towards the audience of real estate agents to encourage them. Like, the possibilities are absolutely endless with these things. And so what I want to do is I want to switch over to this PDF. Remember this PDF that I'm giving you guys with these tools. The second section down here is a section called prompts. I'm going to take like 10 minutes and just show you quickly, but this is the most important piece that you'll get from this entire training right here, this first prompt. So what I want to do before I jump into that amazing prompt that's literally going to change the game for you, if you're not using ChatGPT, this is the homepage. It's a company called OpenAI. You can just Google ChatGPT and it's openai.com. ChatGPT, you can create a free account, and everything I'm going to show you in the next few minutes here is all with the free account. The paid account has a lot of features and a lot of things that are useful. I think it's 100% worth it. It's $20 a month, but I'm going to show you everything in the free. Now, once you're in ChatGPT, it looks like this. I have a bunch of extra stuff on here because I have plugins, whatever. Normally, all this stuff isn't even here, but you type in your question here, you hit enter, and then it creates stuff for you. Now, this is what I want to do, and I want to do it in front of you guys so you see how it works. In this PDF, the very first prompt I give you is the most important prompt, and it will change literally the course of your business. I'm that confident that it's that powerful. Here's the first prompt. I'm going to read it to you, and I'm going to explain what it does. This trains ChatGPT to fully understand your business and your goals. So I'm going to read it. This is the prompt that you just literally copy from this PDF and paste it in. So it says, prepare to generate content for me in future prompts. Before we proceed, I want you to fully comprehend my business, customers, target audience, and goals. Base your future responses on my provided answers that I will give to you. I want you to fully understand my objectives for creating content. To achieve this, ask me at least 25 questions about my business, customers, target audience, vision, goals, and any other necessary details to complete the upcoming tasks to the best of your ability. Your understanding is crucial for optimal results. Do you see what we're doing here? Rather than going to ChatGPT and say, hey, create me this thing. Okay, it has no context for what market you're in, has no context that you're a real estate agent, has no context for your price point, your target audience. Do you specialize with first-time home buyers? Do you specialize with military? Like it knows nothing. So it can't create you custom content. It's just going to give you the generic crap that it's giving everyone else. So if you turn it on ChatGPT at the very beginning and you say, well, you know what you don't know. And I want you to ask me the 25 most important things that you would want to know to give me the very best content possible. I'm going to copy this. I'm going to go to ChatGPT. I'm going to paste it in. I'm going to hit enter. And it's going to say, of course, here we go. Here's the top 25 things that I need to know to give you the best content. So what do you do with this? Well, you copy these 25. I recommend that you put this on a notepad, Google Doc, something, right? So what I would do is I would copy this. I'd probably open up like a Google Doc, and you can use whatever it is that you use. I would paste it in, and I would, let me do it this way. Paste it in, and I would just start answering the questions. What's the name of your business? I could say, Stringer Realty. Boom. Can you describe the products or services? And it's interviewing you about your business, and it gets in depth. Okay. Answer all the questions that you can. Answer it to the best of your abilities. Once you're done, copy the answers and the questions. Boom, like this. Go back into ChatGPT, and this is all you have to do. Here are the answers to your questions. Paste it in, hit enter, and it's going to say, okay, I fully understand your business. Why is this so important? Because everything that it does in this conversation right here. So if I start a new chat, it's not going to remember, but I have to go over here. It's saved. I can rename this whatever I want. So I'm going to rename this, Stringer Realty, because I know I've trained it on Stringer Realty. Anytime I go in here and I say, hey, make me a blog, it's referencing all of my business data to give me specific stuff that's going to be very, very helpful to my business. So that's where you want to start. Now, imagine we go to step 2 now. We've trained it, and we create 90 content ideas your target audience may want to know. This says generate a list of 90 lesser known facts about, and anytime I have this blue thing in a bracket, this is a variable that you can change if you want to. Now, if you've trained it on your business like I just taught you to do, you don't even really need to put a topic, and you can just say my business because it knows. For each point, provide an explanation while highlighting my business. Craft the explanations to be detailed and engaging, offering insights that would captivate potential buyers and clients. The goal is to educate my audience, showcase my expertise, and attract new clients. Ensure the topics you include are intriguing and aligned with the interests of my potential buyers, serving as rich material for future content creation. So look at what you've done. You now have a list of 90 things that are specific to your target audience, specific to your market, specific to your business. I would take the list of 90 and I would paste it on a Google Doc. And here's what I would do. I would read through them and I would delete any ones that you're not passionate about or that you don't want to create content for. So now you might whittle that list of 90 down to 70, 60, 80, doesn't matter. And you have a full list of things that you want to talk about that's your business, specific to you, specific to your clients. And then you do this. Create a complete content calendar. It says, I'd like you to help me come up with a content schedule for and you put what type of content you're wanting to create, blog, podcast, short form video, YouTube, whatever, that has the best chance of helping me reach as many clients and potential clients as possible. The entire goal is to establish my authority in my market and provide massive value to my audience. I want to inform and captivate potential buyers and clients with my content. I'd like to post, and then you put how many number of times per week you want to post to target. Please target clickbait style titles that will get people to want to watch, read, or listen to my content. Please organize the title of each piece of content in a nice looking table so that it looks like a calendar. Each week should be separated in its own table. Use whatever knowledge you have about my specific business goals and target audience to create this calendar. And look what you do, guys. You paste in the list of 60 that you have from your Google Doc that you just whittled down from the 90. And you're going to have a complete content calendar with how many times you need to post a week. Here's the title that you use. Here's the date that you post it, all in a nice looking calendar. You have your whole year done. And you didn't have to think about content. It did it for you, and it's based on your market. It's unbelievable. There's a lot of really cool prompts in here. I'm not going to read all of them to you, but just know there is so much gold and value in this PDF that I'm going to share with you. Some of you might have seen there was a very viral video from several months ago when I was speaking in Orlando, where I basically said, what if you were to go into ChatGPT and create a buyer persona for someone in your market, your price point, your target audience, and have it create a list of pain points that buyer might face when purchasing a home in your market specifically. And then you have ChatGPT create either ads or content around solving the problems of your target audience. Now that's a game changer. That's what this prompt is right here. If you saw that video that went viral online, that's exactly what I was talking about, was this prompt that I wrote. You put your industry, you put homes in the whatever price point, you put your specific market, it's going to generate a buyer persona or seller persona for that specific market. And then you can create ads targeted on solving those problems. That's what this is right here. I have crafting the perfect blog post. You copy this. The only thing you have to do is paste in the title of your blog right here. And guess what we just did in the previous steps? We just got the clickbait style titles for the whole year's worth of content. So you go to, today's date, you copy the title, you paste it in right here, you hit enter, you have a 2,000 word blog that's SEO optimized, done for you. I have analyze a specific text for style, voice, and tone. This can change the responses in ChatGPT to sound like you. It's so simple, but here's what it is. Analyze the following text for style and tone of voice. Apply the exact same style to all future responses in this chat, and then you paste in something you've written. It could be an email, could be whatever, but then from there on out, ChatGPT's responses sound like you, not some random ChatGPT. I have generate excellent product service descriptions. This is for listing descriptions. I have generate 10 hooks for content and ads. And I have an Instagram carousel content creator. You guys get all of this in this PDF. So I'm going to stop talking and yapping. I'm going to give you guys the QR code for that. So let me switch over to my other screen. I've got a QR code for you, and you'll be able to scan this. Guys, this stuff is extremely valuable. I feel like even if, there's the code that you can scan with your phone. Scan that code. It's going to take you to the page. You put in name, phone number, email. When you hit send it to me via email, it sends an automatic email to your inbox with this exact PDF for you guys. That way you can just copy and paste and use all of that stuff that I've created. You can use that for your business. So again, don't be overwhelmed. I know I've gone through a lot of information, but if you apply just one thing today, you will end up saving time. You'll create a better experience for your clients. This is an absolute game changer for your business because you don't have to think about what to ask it. You don't have to think about how to ask it. Now, if you're someone, and I'm going to wrap up with this, Peggy, and then maybe we can go into a little Q&A or whatever you want to do. If you're someone who wants to take it even further and you're like, look, I see the value in this, I definitely want to go deeper. I do run an academy specifically for real estate agents where I teach them how to use AI in their business and grow their business. We have an academy, it's 12 video modules. And if you think those 10 prompts are helpful, I want to just show you our academy students get access to over 500 real estate prompts where you pick what you want: SEO, YouTube, customer service, TikTok, whatever it is, copywriting. You click on it and it expands, and this is the prompt, and you copy and paste the prompt. So we give you a login to this, and it's not just a PDF, because I add stuff to this all the time, and you have access to all of these prompts in our academy. So if that's something that you feel like would be interesting to you, we cover a lot of stuff. You get the 500 prompts, get your login with lifetime access, you get 12 weeks of exclusive on-demand AI coaching, you get 12 weeks of live Q&A with me. That way you can jump on, you get the benefit of on demand, so you can pause, go slower, rewind, whatever. But you also get the benefit of live so that you can jump in Q&A. We give you an AI agent certification at the end of it, and we give you an invitation to a weekly mastermind. So if that's something you want more information on, we would love to have you. We've got over 650 students in the academy right now. It's absolutely changing the game for people's business. Normally the price for this whole program is $5,999. We are giving you guys a discount for this group only, and it's available today. It's actually going to be the largest percentage discount we've ever given, and it's a 50% off. So it's $2,999. You have to use the code WAKEUP at checkout, and it'll give you that 50% off. That's available today. It expires at midnight. But if you guys want more info on that program, it will change the whole aspect of your business. This code gets you to that information about the academy. But it's been an honor being with you guys. Peggy, thank you so much for allowing me to provide value. And guys, I hope that this was actionable enough, that it was broken down simple enough to where you feel like, hey, I can even do this, because anyone in this room can.
I can't say enough, Phil. This is the second time I've heard you speak. My mouth is I'm just blown away by this. I know you said you could stay on a little bit longer, and for those who can, let's stop sharing your screen, go back and see if there's anybody. We can open it up to questions, guys. I know we've got a lot of people who've had to leave. This is recorded. But if you're on here and you'd like to ask Phil a question, please, please, please do. Let's see, Grady, you have your hand up.
Yeah, I was going to ask Phil, of those tools that you were pointing out at the beginning, I assume some of them are subscription based or free or a combination of both. What do you recommend?
Yeah, so I get this question all the time when I'm presenting. They're like, okay, how much is each tool? Each tool, they've been changing the price. The price has actually been going down because the market's getting more competitive with some of these tools. So, Durable, which is the website one, used to be $30 a month, and now it's $20, which is good. Most of them are $20 or less per month. But Adobe Firefly, that image one where I removed the car, that one's free. Like, you don't even have to pay for that. So if I were you and I were looking to invest, it would depend on what I feel like would change the game for my business. Like, if you were to say, hey, short form video, I want to focus on that, Opus Clip is your thing. And it's like $9 a month. It's like nothing. And if you were to say, you know what, we really want to start writing blogs, well, then you might look into that All Right that writes blogs from video content. So that's why I tell people, hey, don't get all 10. Definitely don't get all 10. Don't even get 7. Pick 1 or 2 and just do those. And that's what I recommend based on what you think would move the needle for your business.
Yeah, the prompts you provided to use in ChatGPT are invaluable.
I appreciate. I'm glad it's valuable for you, and I wanted to make it simple enough to where you could just copy and paste, because I know the frustration of having a technology that I don't understand, and you feel overwhelmed. And I was like, if I could solve this problem for real estate agents to where they didn't have to figure out, you didn't get into real estate to become a prompt engineer, right? You got into real estate to help people. And I'm like, if I can eliminate that hurdle, it's going to help so many people. And that's basically what our mission has been.
Cool. There's a lot of screens here, so I can't see everyone's hands. Just jump in if you have a question.
Yeah, I did see a couple things in the chat too. Some
cool.
people might want that. I'm going to share the free PDF link again. So while we're talking, here's that thing. You can scan that. It takes you to my website. You have to scroll down and you see it. You put in your name, email, phone, and you hit get the PDF via email. Once you do that, it automatically sends an email to you. So check your email. If you don't see it in your inbox, you do want to check your spam because that's probably where it went. Give it a minute and it'll send you an auto email with that same PDF that I just walked through today. So yeah, let's go back into, I think someone had a question.
Yeah, that was just it. I did do that. I haven't seen it yet. I don't know.
Did you check your spam?
Yes, I did. Yep.
Okay. Yeah, if you give it a minute or two, because it sends an auto email. What it looks like, let me see if I can pull up the actual email so you can search. Your free PDF is here, is the subject line.
Okay, so
I got
maybe
mine.
I gave it my email address and then it asked me to sign up. I used like I put in a credit card number, but I didn't see, maybe I didn't pick the right prompt. I'm so sorry to get a little
Yeah,
into this.
if we're talking about the free PDF with the
Yeah.
10 tools and the 10, there's no credit card, there's no any, it's just name, email, phone, and it sends you that free PDF, no cost. Like
Okay.
that's just the value I'm giving. If you want to join the academy and get the access to the 500 prompts and the on-demand training and coaching and live Q&A, that one is where you use that promo code wake up and it takes 50% off.
Yeah, no, I see all that. I'm so sorry. I just somehow missed, like this went right to free membership. I'm just back. Maybe I missed something.
You can also go to, if this is better for you, if you
Yeah.
missed the scanning thing, you can go to, I'm going to put it in the chat right now. It's aitoolspdf.com, aitoolspdf.com. And that has the same type of, you can download that free tool that I've got for you today, but that's the link for it, not the QR code if you're having trouble with that QR code.
I don't have, yeah, could you just put the code up again? Because I didn't have any trouble, but I must have missed something. I mean, I appreciate your time. So sorry to be.
No worries.
All right, it's important. We want you to get everything.
There you go. There's that code for that free tool.
Who else has got a question with their hand up? Just jump in.
Yeah, I just want to thank both of you for doing this today. And just one quick question, Phil, on the Adobe Firefly. Do you happen to know when you edit a image like that, does it keep it in the same resolution as you shot with, or does it possibly reduce it?
That's a great question. I don't know the actual answer to that. What I should do though, because no one's ever asked me that, I'm going to take an image that's a higher resolution and then save it, and I'll compare the two resolutions. I think that's a fantastic question, and I'm not sure what the answer is. I wouldn't want to tell you the wrong thing.
Well, we'll go look anyway, but I thank you. I just thought you might know because my son's a videographer, so that's he'd never even heard of it, and he uses Adobe products. So that was an incredible value right there. Everything was awesome. Thank you.
I appreciate that. Yeah, my initial reaction, because I've used it so many times for listing photos, and I've seen no change in quality. My guess would be that you save it at the same resolution as what you uploaded, but I wouldn't want to confidently give you that answer because I'm not 100% sure.
Well,
Good question.
Just
Thanks.
ask ChatGPT if it's in the same resolution.
There you go. Ask ChatGPT.
I want to tell you that Susie is in Hawaii right now. So if you think 6 a.m. is early, she was here at 4 a.m. Even
That's
before talking.
right there.
Okay, anybody else? Tracy,
Hey.
hi.
Yeah, good morning, Phil. Hey, one question. I just continuously am starting new conversations. You mentioned you saved like those prompts and saved it as your realty group on the left side. So
Yeah.
does that mean one new conversation won't talk with another new conversation?
Correct. So if you start a new conversation, it basically forgets everything that you've you've trained it to do, right? It starts from scratch. So every new conversation starts a whole new conversation where it's like the memory is back to zero. Now, there are ways around that, and it's a fantastic question, and I'll show you in 60 seconds if you want to get around that, what you can do. So, and this is very important, I think, for everyone to know. So let's say that I went through this and I trained it on the 25 questions. If I start a new chat and I were to talk about something else, it would not remember the 25 answers, right? That's what she's referring to. If I go over here, this has like everything that I've used ChatGPT for in this little side. If I go to Stringer Realty and open this up, I can continue the conversation and it will remember because it knows everything in that specific conversation. The problem is when you start a new conversation, it forgets, but there is a quick workaround. If you go here and you click on your name, there is custom ChatGPT option right here. This allows you in this box right here, it allows you to give it 1,500 characters that it will use globally in all of its new conversations. Do you see how down here it says enable for new chats? If that's on, then that means I can train it, but I can only train it with 1,500 characters. Well, the answers to your 25 questions is going to be way more than 1,500 characters, but here's what you can do. When you're in this chat, you could say, because you can modify the text, you could say, give me a 1,500 character or less summary of my business using the 25 answers I've given you. It's going to give you a 1,500 character summary, and you can paste that in here, and it will reference that 1,500 character summary for every single chat that you do. So that's kind of a workaround.
Wow. Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah.
Amazing. Absolutely amazing. Yes, it's brilliant. But what's great is that the technology there and Phil is brilliant. He's been able to figure this out to really simplify it and what I say, dumb it down for us. And there's so much more. Damn, I don't know what to say. I am blown away by this. I really want to thank everybody for coming on. Phil, I know we're going to want to have you back. I'm super excited to talk to you about getting you to come out to Laguna Beach and doing an event out here. I think it would be just, it's a great place for everybody to come vacation as well. We're here every Wednesday. If you want to know more, if you want the recording on this, we post it in our Wake Up Wednesday group, which you can go on to Workplace and search. If you want to know more about the group and if you want to know about our retreat, Phil, we'd love to have you come to our retreat. Although I think you'd be up all night answering questions after we've done all of our other mindset things and stuff.
I'm used to it.
But anybody have one last question? Jump in if you do.
Hey, Peggy, it's Iggy.
Oh, go ahead. Hey. Oh my gosh, how are you?
I'm good. I'm good. This was amazing. Thank you so much. Thank you, Phil. This was incredible. I remember seeing you at one of the EXP events. One quick question, Phil. I've been using Poe, which includes ChatGPT. What are your thoughts on that versus just straight up ChatGPT?
Yeah, there's a lot of benefits, and there's multiple tools that leverage ChatGPT on the back end. So tools like Poe, I haven't personally used it, but I've heard a lot of good things about it. What I find is that I don't need all the extra bells and whistles that other companies are, adding. But it uses the brain of ChatGPT, and it uses, the free and the paid version to give you responses. And so really, it's almost, my answer to this is always the same. It's almost like when an agent asks, hey, what CRM should I use? And you're like, the one that you're going to use or the one you're most comfortable using is the one you should use. I would say that's a similar thing. As long as you apply the same principles as what I'm teaching, it really doesn't matter what engine you use. ChatGPT is my favorite. It's so simple to use. So many people know how to use it. And so it's just widely available. But Poe, I've heard really good things about.
Hey, one last question, Phil.
Yeah.
A ChatGPT 3.5 or 4.0?
Yes.
for us.
Yes. So 3.5 is free. That's the free account. I do all my training on the free account because not every one of my clients has the paid version. 4 is the paid version. It's $20 a month. Here's the main differences between 4 and 3.5 in a quick 30-second nutshell. In 4, you can upload files. Okay. So let's say you have a PDF, a video, audio file, whatever. You can upload a file. It will analyze that file and give you responses based on the file, which can be very helpful, especially if you were to upload a market report and then you can create a video or a blog about today's, interest rates or whatever it is. So uploading files is very helpful. They also have the ability to create images. You can type in a prompt and it'll use images. You have what's called third-party plugins where you can use third-party like apps, almost like apps on your phone. For an example, I book my flights on ChatGPT because there's a kayak plugin, right? So the paid version allows you to do much more, but really the biggest difference is what's called a context window. ChatGPT can only receive and spit out a certain amount of data. And it's about 10 times longer on the paid version. It's about 300, 350 pages of a book before it starts to drop off information, and it'll stop in the middle of a sentence. So if you want a much larger context window to load bigger things in or get longer results, paid version 100% is better.
Wow. This is why we go to events, guys. This is exactly why we go to events, because you get to meet people that you would never have been introduced to. And again, I can't thank you enough, Phil. I will see you in Cabo. You and I can do a follow-up. Thank you, Sarah. This really, it's kind of like, I don't know what to do next week now. I'm sitting here going, okay, I'm going to ask ChatGPT after I have Phil on, what do I do next week for content? Because this is absolutely blown my mind. But thank you to everyone. We hope you pop in again. I will see you in Cabo. Safe travels.
Thank you so much. It's been an honor being with you guys. Thanks for your time.
Thanks, everybody. Take care. Bye.
Bye.